This media is brought to you by Polyscope.
In the realm of tomorrow, where tech meets mind, we ponder, we dream.
It's great to finally meet you because this is how we meet each other nowadays over Zoom. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization and what you're passionate about?
Hey, Chris, I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me. So what we do is we index the whole internet for faces and voices.
The
So we
entire
can
internet,
the entire internet, so we
beginning
can
to
find.
end,
And
trillions and trillions of pages.
I'm sure there's a corner we've missed, right? But the gist is we try to find you where you don't belong. So whether it be impersonations or deepfakes or like explicit content, we could find those spots and then we send takedown notices for all of them.
Mm.
So think of it as
And
delete for the internet.
so what drove you into, like, what made you decide to do this? What pushed you into this? What
You know,
made you?
we got started about 3 years ago. We did this one contract for a client. We used to do AI consulting,
Mhm.
and it was for partial face recognition. So like, how much can you see on like 15% of a face? We thought that was pretty cool, and we kept the intellectual property work out of it, of course, with the blessing of the client.
Of
And
course.
we pointed it towards the most nefarious parts of the internet.
Hmm.
And we said, okay, well, maybe we could give people their privacy back, where they could upload a picture, and then we can go find all these pictures out there of them, maybe pictures they don't even know exist, and then we'll delete them. Yeah, it's kind of like a $20 a month kind of service. And
Nice.
we did that
That's a
for
great
about,
idea.
I know, we thought it was great. I mean, like, it was like a no-brainer. And honestly, it was something we did on the side of consulting. So
Hmm.
I kept my consulting business, and we had some really big clients like UPS and Getty Images and AT&T. Like, the team was busy, but this was kind of a goodwill service of like, hey,
Mm.
give us your image and $20, we'll go find things, we'll take things down.
Yeah, it's kind of like a skunkworks project that you just
It
kind of worked on the
was,
side,
yes,
right?
yes. We were all nerds, and so we love the challenge, the idea of how do you solve the problem of indexing the internet, right?
Right.
For face and voice, right? Like that. That was cool, and it offered people this way of of giving them some amount of, like I said, privacy that they never thought they'd ever have before. People that were worried about job interviews or seeing old friends and wondering had someone seen a picture of me that did not belong on the internet,
Right.
and us being able to take care of that so quickly was rewarding. And then as time went on, uh, AI in entertainment became a really big talking point. And we
Mm.
talked to partners in Los Angeles. They said that a lot of their talent were concerned about AI usage, whether it be through impersonation, like scams run online, or deepfakes, or how studios might utilize or misutilize likeness. And so we said, well, we have this tech, right? And the kind of the superpower of the tech is being able to ingest so much and be
Mm.
able to tell you, oh, here you are right here. Is this allowed? Do you want this? No? Okay, well, I'll hit the button. We'll get it removed. So we expand into more of the entertainment side about a year and a half ago. And that's really become our whole world. I stopped doing
Right.
consulting about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and we have been heads down, just building out this system that we scale to. I think we're at about 10 billion assets. So one of the largest
Wow.
vector databases on Earth. But it has a purpose, and it's the whole idea is so you can find you.
Wow. So how did you get started with this? I mean, what made you want to do this in the first place?
I think the big part was us being able to see this the we were given the solution before the problem, right? And as all bad technologists like me, as all nerds, right? You kind of look for like, well, what's the problem I could solve with the thing that I just built? And it became really clear. I was watching this show called Euphoria. It was on HBO, and there's a whole plot point around non-consensual intimate images or revenge porn. And I was
Mm.
watching this in 2022, and it immediately came to me. I was like, oh, that's the solution. I could solve that. It was pure arrogance, right? But it's like, oh, I could figure out how to solve that. I mean, if I just
Sure.
took people's faces and then I automated the takedown part, like, boom, I could make that happen. And so, of course, it's much more complex than that. And we found out over the last 2 years that we've built this enormous technical moat of how complicated it actually is, how expensive it is to run. But, through the hubris of naivete, did I say, hey, I think I could figure that one out. And I'm glad I was naive. I'm glad I was arrogant because I've now tripped into a space that's enormously rewarding, being able to do this every day.
I love that. That is so cool that that's where your inspiration came from. It was just some
Yeah,
random TV show you were
it
watching.
was. Yeah, yeah. We're like, oh, that's solvable.
But how solvable is it? I mean, you said
It's
what kind of percentages are you hitting? Like, are you
95%
finding everything?
effective takedown. We're really
Really?
good on the takedown part. Yes,
Wow.
we have great relationship with all the social media companies, and then we can be a bit of a pariah with some of the adult sites. So if they don't take it down right away, we let other people in their ecosystem know. So we'll tell the people they host servers on or their credit card processor. Uh, we we have a mechanism to escalate when they want to ignore people when they say, "Hey, that's me, and I don't want you putting that picture up of me."
Right.
We feel like there's a reasonable time to be a bit of a bully. So we get to be a bit of a bully, but the reality is most of our partners are willing. They're actually they'll do takedowns in 20 minutes. Like
Oh,
they're
sure.
actually really fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't want to get in trouble either. I mean, considering who your
Right.
clients are, right?
Right, especially that, right? But we also group all of our consumer takedowns with our celebrity ones, so they get the same kind of benefit, right? So
Nice.
while we get associated with these celebrity type takedowns, and that makes some of the more nefarious sites fear these takedowns, we also send in like own this image too, and it's a nobody, right? But it's you and me, right?
Yeah.
And those are that's a probably more exciting ad hoc part of like the way that we grew our business was let's go get celebrities. It like supercharged our takedowns for everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
So that's also been really fun to see.
So where's the weirdest place you've seen something
Oh man,
like somebody's face?
man, we've seen. Oh,
Or
I
give me
would
some
tell you,
examples.
uh, we do. So we represent everyone, including like posthumous estates. And there was this one older musician, and he was on a poster in the background of like a video you would find on any kind of band site from any
Right.
public library, right? And what was funny is when we first pulled the results, we had to call the people that managed the estate, and we had to ask like, "Hey, do you want to issue takedowns? Like technically." It is using his likeness, and we're not sure how. And they were super cool about it. They're like, absolutely not. Like they
Yeah.
just leave. They're just posters in the background. We're gonna let that be. And
Wow.
so it was kind of cool seeing how amazing our tech was. Like we could pick up half a picture in the background on a wall. But it was also cool seeing that once people were given the power to delete things, they used it reasonably. Most of our clients have very reasonable rules around they don't want to cause harm. They don't want to disrupt someone's thing, right? Just because there's something in the background, just because it's not, a cleared piece of IP. And I thought that that was really amazing. I think that was probably the part that I was the most surprised by, but happily surprised by, is that people ultimately only want the really bad stuff to come down, and
Yeah.
everything else, even if it's a little bit like of an eye rolling, like oh whatever, they leave it be.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I like about what happened with Star Wars prior to Disney's acquisition, right? It seemed like people could do all sorts of riffs on all the characters and doing all sorts of crazy things, but it was all in fun, right? And as long
Yeah.
as it was in fun, they probably didn't want to do anything about it. And I think you're probably seeing the same thing, is that people
Yes.
are having fun, satirizing but they're not doing anything really nefarious with it. So like
Yes.
it's a fun twist, right? Why not? It's
That's
interesting.
exactly it. We have some clients that are really they're very pro First Amendment, and so they want to make or allow their fans to create content that's even dissenting or even satirical of them, like it makes
Yeah,
fun of them, and they
yeah,
still don't want to do takedowns on that. But they're adamant about anything where like it's them endorsing some vitamin supplement,
right.
right? And so you can see where like the switch gets flipped in their brain of like, no, that comes down now, right? It's usually with like medical endorsements or things that are just patently false, but they hold a lot of gray zone type space for like, hey, I don't agree with how they're representing me here, but everyone kind of has the right to even criticize me. And that's been really an amazing thing to see as well as clients having this spectrum and not saying everything with my face comes down, even the stuff that's critical. They're like, you could leave that up.
Yeah. I mean, where do you draw the line with what's the word I'm looking for? Like where you could just use something in a satirical way, or you're referring to it in an article, and you can what's it called? I forget the term just
Public
escapes me now.
fair use.
Fair use. That's it. Fair
Yeah.
use. What do you do with fair use? How does that work?
So we haven't had any clients that even want to step on the fair use landmine at the moment,
Really?
right? Because they're not trying to say, well, I don't like that or I don't like this. All of our clients are very reasonable. They really
Mm,
want the scams to come down, the false endorsements, deep fakes that are pushing harmful narratives, explicit content. Like there's so much stuff to go after. They're really not trying to split hairs over, hey, is this a political statement about me or is this, trying to push some kind of narrative or punchline or something. Like they're not even thinking in that zone. I'm sure as we scale, we'll probably have to have better conversations with our clients around like what's First Amendment, what's not, what's fair use, and what's not. But at the moment, we've been lucky. We have clients that
mm.
really keep their eye on the prize, which is let's keep our image off of unsafe things. Not do I disagree with that?
Right. And isn't it true that, I mean, even if they're out there, if there's a representation of them and they're doing something that's it's fair use, but or it's just their representation and it's neutral or, slightly satirical or slightly sarcastic, it's actually still good for them because their images are getting out there,
I
right?
think a
They're
lot
still
of people
being seen.
have that sense. Some
Yeah.
people, a lot of our clients, they have a level of fame in which they need no more fame.
Yeah.
They're a household. I would say that more
We're
than half
done.
of our clients could be recognized by the majority of people on Earth.
Right.
And so, for that half the clients, they do not need more. They literally are letting things slide because they just don't want to pick fights with people. Like they're
Right.
trying to pick their battles, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, for some folks, it's good for their celebrity or their brand to even let the critical stuff go out because that old aphorism, "There's no such thing as bad press."
That's right.
Perhaps there is these days, but yeah, you're right. On some level, it's good even to have that kind of thing out there.
Yeah, so it's this, you have to draw the line as to what's bad and what isn't bad. And like you're talking about when you're actually endorsing something, that's something that you really don't want to you
Correct.
really want to watch out for.
We try not to get into the conversation of what's bad or not by picking things that are objectively bad.
Mm,
If I make a deep fake of you, or it's Chris saying I took this vitamin supplement and stopped taking insulin and it cured me of diabetes, like diabetes, like you would like you couldn't find a person to defend that. Right?
no.
You couldn't find one person to be like, it should be okay that someone gives life-threatening advice, right?
Yeah, no.
And so like there's things like
Definitely
that where
not.
it's like, you're right, I am making a moral judgment on this. I am saying that this is a bad thing to put on there. But we pick such easy battles that it's really not leveraging our opinions. It's not leveraging like any kind of controversial stance. It's stuff that's so black and white in terms of
Mm,
like, yeah, the vast majority of people, more like 99% of people would agree that should come down. That should not exist. If someone has that opinion that someone should stop taking this, life-saving drug and take their vitamin supplement instead, they should show up on their webcam and say it, not take Chris's likeness, right?
right.
And so like
Although
it's
who
it's
am I,
easy for
right?
us, right?
My likeness might be all over the internet. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll run your account. We'll find out. But you get the idea, right? We do pick easy battles.
Yeah. Well, I had a friend of mine once, a colleague that from work who had his identity stolen like that, and he was all over dating sites in the Ukraine or something like that. I forget exactly where he was, but they basically create a whole new backstory, and they took all of his pictures and they recreated him, and it took him months and months and months to get it all solved, and that was like maybe 10 more than 10 years ago. I mean,
Yeah,
if somebody came to you today, like you said, that you could do it in what, 20
a
minutes or
couple of
something like
days.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
a couple of days, everything would be gone. And within 20 minutes,
Wow.
the vast majority would be gone. But yeah, be a couple of days. And then
Nice.
oftentimes the insidious part is there's like a recidivism type component to it. So
Right.
whoever's doing that, they'll continue to do that. So you would probably continue to need to do takedowns for months after, which is unfortunate. It's what we're learning about the industry, which is I could play whack-a-mole much faster than they can create an account. If they take
Right.
20 minutes or an hour to make it, it takes me 10 seconds to find it and delete it. That's fine. And it's automated, right? But they will still try. They'll be persistent. And so it's something we have to continually engineer for.
Right. Well, what does it think people mostly use these likenesses for? Like when they do use a likeness.
So the vast majority of the likeness we see, the misuse is around scams. It's
Mm.
someone saying, "I'm a famous person, trust me, and if you send me $1,000 in Bitcoin, I'll do a lunch with you on your birthday."
Wow.
Right? Or you get VIP access to the next concert I'm at,
And,
or I'll
and
read
people
your
fall for that?
script. People do. right? People
Wow.
do. And it's easy to fall for it when, the account looks like it's approved, right? It has some famous person's name on it. And they're sending you custom videos where it's like them saying, "Hey, Chris, how are you doing today?" And it's their face and their voice, and they're talking and they're DMing these videos to you. Uh, that gets trickier.
Mm.
Of course, there is some like smell test involved where I think for most people they'd say that doesn't smell right, that this random celebrity wants $1,000 from
Yeah,
me to read the
exactly.
script.
Because I have
Or
like probably about 20 or 25 Elons following me right now on X. So
right, that's a great
I'm pretty
example,
sure
right?
it's not him.
Exactly. That's an amazing example. And yet people get tricked by it, and then they're more duped, or the technology makes the dupe a little bit harder of that good sense of intuition, that smell test, because you are getting actual videos.
Hello?
I think we cut out for just a second. Are you
Yeah,
back?
yeah, we're good. I'm here.
All right. It's going to have to deep fake you the
I
rest of
love
the
the
interview.
internet.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. So I'm assuming AI has made your job way harder. Way harder.
No,
Is that
no, no.
true?
Our job, it's the other way around, is we fight fire with fire. So
Mm,
AI has made our entire company possible. It would be impossible for me to hire a team of people that could do enough identification of clients or enough searches to find it or even enough takedowns. We
mm.
have to leverage. So we use probably 40 different AI models or machine learning models to do what we do. So in a way, AI is, of course, creating a market for us in kind of a horrible way, right? It's like it's
Right.
creating a lot of
Well,
problems.
because that's probably where more of this, most of this stuff comes from. It's definitely AI
Yes,
generated, right? Yeah.
correct. So it's AI generated, but it's it's actually easier for us. So what AI is doing is it's making a more realistic version of someone. So as
Mm.
AI gets better, it's getting closer to how they sound and what they look like. So our models get more accurate. So
Wow.
basically, as AI become even more accurate, it's very fascinating. But basically, the wave of AI improvements have made my life easier. We have 60 or 70 people now on the team. We grow pretty fast, but we're doing the work of what a team 10x the size would have had to do, or a million x the size if we didn't have AI. It would be impossible. But
That's really
so,
interesting because
yeah,
it tells me that if they get too good, if the AI models get too good, then it's making going to make it way easier for you to take them down because it'd be more accurate depiction. So it's almost like for them to fight you guys, they have to make it less accurate, which would defeat the purpose in the first place,
correct,
right? Wow. So you guys,
correct.
it's a win-win all the way around.
It is. We got lucky. We got lucky. We won the lottery of business models.
That's great. So it's time to think like a futurist. It's the year 2035. Where do you think we're going to be in 10 years? You think it's going to be way worse, way better? I mean, where are we going to be?
Um, I think we're going to have a lot of certainty around the law.
Mm,
What can be allowed, what can't be allowed. And I think a lot of these laws are going to come down consumer friendly, which is good. They're going to end up with the ability to protect what you look like and sound like. That's getting passed pretty openly in many jurisdictions. Many countries are already have some form of legislation that protects what you look like and sound like. So by 2035, we all have certainty. There's good established case law. There's what you can and can't do on the internet. And then there's companies like us, like Loti, that helps people protect those rights, and we enforce those. But beyond my industry, I think AI is going to be, I think there's two different versions. In 2035, there's a world that's dystopian looking. I think we're all a little worried about, right? Where there's like collapsed job markets and things of that nature. And there's plenty of people to speak on that, but I think there's a more optimistic future, which is where we use AI to extend our social capacities, right?
mm.
Right now we're basically these creatures that are designed to hang out with like 20 people, and then after that, we can't remember anyone's birthday, right?
That's right.
And I think AI is going to improve that, or we have an option or an opportunity as a species to make AI make us more social, right?
Mm,
We were given this promise of social media, and it ended up being anti-social media, right? And it's not too cheeky to say it that way. Most people would associate you doom scrolling with you not having friends, right? Like you
exactly.
either call your friend or doom scroll on your favorite social media platform. And so we have another opportunity now. We have this thing of like, hey, can we use AI to figure out who needs to be called today? What activities can we participate in? In our view, how do we protect things? There's a way that AI, not in its purest way, where you basically are interacting with this intelligent thing or whatever, but in its parts, in its composition, where this particular model can help you as a human live a better life. And I'm, of course, building that future, trying to build it and trying to get other people to build that future. But we'll see. In 10 years, we'll have something that is more adversarial to us as a species, right? Not like, like it's trying to like arm all the warheads and shoot us, but like adversarial as in we're competing with jobs for AI automation, or we're competing, unfortunately, maybe with creativity with AI options. Those are areas that will be adversarial to what we are as a species. And I hope we don't sacrifice creativity and purpose for profit. But those aren't going to be up to me. All I
Hmm.
can do is say, hey, there's other cool uses that are deeply profitable and deeply useful for AI that aren't just how can I upend, 10,000 employees.
Right. Well, I'm thinking about it made me think about avatars, right? I mean, at some point we're going to have super accurate avatars of ourselves because right now we interact with people over the internet, right? So
Yes.
I could conceivably be an avatar. I could be an avatar, you could be an avatar, and our avatars could be having this conversation, right? And we could be off on a beach somewhere doing
Yes.
whatever our thing is, and our avatars could be having this conversation. And I mean, is there anything wrong with that? I mean, that's not such a bad thing, right?
I don't think it's so bad. It depends on how you see it, right? In many ways, you and I have sent our avatars to have these conversations, right? Like we are a version of ourselves with each other. And
Exactly.
that is, that's a fascinating thing to think about, right? Which is I'm choosing a version of Luke Arrigoni and which we're going to have a conversation. And
Hmm.
so I can see someone making this idea around like, well, there's a greater facsimile that can be made of like, I can equip an interviewable Luke Arrigoni, which you can have a conversation with. And I see that future and get it. That's possible. I think there will be purists though that want to go beyond what AI can do. Even the facsimile of them can do, right? That can deviate in the moment. That can understand this conversation can go somewhere maybe more creative or cooler. And I think that like authentic, more I guess like there's more capabilities for an audible to be called. That is going to have a premium. So there'll be
Right.
lots of interviews where two avatars talk to each other, and it's a good conversation. But you'll know when the authentic version has shown up because the conversation can just kind of deviate into really cool territory, which a bot would not be, we'll say authorized, but
Right.
trained to do.
So it kind of reminds me of something I've been asking some of my readers on Substack is like if you were reading something and it really touched you emotionally and you thought it was amazing, but then you found out afterwards it was written by AI, how would you feel about it after that? And it's kind of like this, it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if we were interacting and and suddenly you realize, wait a minute, that's not really him, that's an avatar. How would you feel about it? Even though you had a great interaction and everything was, and you had fun at it.
I
How would you
think
react?
I think the only reason why criticism would come out of this situation would be there's like this like reflective component to it, which is I've been interacting with a bot, right? I've been
Hmm.
interacting with something inauthentic and I was duped by it, or did someone bother not to bring the real version of themselves, right? Like it's something no matter what it'll be if
It's
you're
a
having a
respect
good,
thing.
yeah, right? Like I think if you're having like a really good experience with an AI and you find out that it is AI and it changes your perspective, that's something that's probably about you more than it is
Mm,
about the conversation or the other person.
right.
I would say one thing though, which is if you've ever seen a live performance of Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac, right,
Hmm.
where it's like this deeply charged, antagonistic, romantic relationship between the singer and the guitarist, you can tell there's certain things which AI will never be able to replicate.
Right.
Right? You watch something like that, and it's easy for you to say, even if an AI or whatever wrote this song, we are all feeling that thing between the guitarist and the singer right now. Like we feel it, and that's
Yeah.
something that we would never be convinced of if we saw AI do it. So the Silver Springs live performance is my whole. That's why AI won't completely take over creative industries. Is as
Right.
a human, you will identify with the performance art of it because it is another human doing it, and you know what they're saying. Until like an AI bot can be in love with their guitarist and have those same kind of human emotions, we won't feel the same kind of authenticity that like will seep from it. We'll see something that's more disingenuous or something that's almost trying to trick us, some uncanny valley of emotions in which it's hard for us to fall in love with a love song written by AI.
Yeah. Or we'll get to some tiered situation where you have a $4,000 ticket for the live performance and a $400 ticket for the AI performance, which replicates most of the experience, but not quite that level of
Right.
emotion,
And you know the
right?
people
So,
that are buying the $4,000 experience, they're all hoping for one big thing. There's a
exactly.
deviation.
Hmm.
It's not the normal. They're hoping for something new and novel to come out of this person, right? That's why you would buy the novel experience. You'd buy the in person, is you're waiting for something that is so deeply authentic that the person that is performing or saying or doing something is just in the moment on it. And that will always have a premium.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So here's another thing, another twist. I was thinking about, has anybody thought about like uh how do I say this? Monetizing their likenesses. So instead of you saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
take me down," so instead of taking me down, I'm like, "Oh, you want to use me? That's fine. That's like 10 cents per view or something like that." Is that in your pipeline? Are you thinking about that
Oh,
at all?
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm,
No, we think about a world where if you are talent, if you're a performer on any level, AI is going to be part of your revenue stream,
what
right?
if
Like
you're just a regular person?
I guess yeah, if you're a regular person too, right? But I said artist, right? So a regular person can be an artist, right? But if
Sure,
you're an artist,
everyone's an
and
artist.
everyone can be an artist, right? But if you have art that you want to share and you want to charge for it, whether it be you performing it or just the art itself somehow replicated by AI, like music or something, um, then yeah, I think that that's something we have to think about in terms of how do we not do takedowns in those environments? How do we facilitate a kind of interaction that makes sense there?
Yeah, because it could even be possible that someone out there is using my likeness, but they're using it for some neutral purpose that I'm okay with. But at the same
Mhm.
time, since they are using my likeness, I should probably get something out of it. No?
No, absolutely. And we just want
Yeah.
to make sure we will also have systems to facilitate that. We try not to scare anyone, spook anyone too much. And they're like, you can buy an AI version of yourself or sell an AI version of yourself. But yeah, we know that world is coming, and we have systems that we've built to kind of facilitate that.
Yeah. Because I mean, I know 11 Labs has a thing where you can actually record your voice and let them use your voice in
Yes,
things. And I wanted to try that, and I thought to myself, but do I really want my voice to be out there, no matter how much I'm making on it? So that'd be a
so you
tricky thing.
I mean, the real underlining problem your experience is you want control, right? I want to be
Mm,
able to pull that out. I want to say, hey, I'm done with the internet using my voice. And that's the part that we step in for. Is
right.
you want to be able to monetize, right? And that makes a lot of sense. But at the moment that you say, I'm done monetizing, you want your words to be listened to. You want someone to say, okay, then we're really done. No more Chris, right? That will
Yeah.
pull this voice. And if someone doesn't, what is your recourse? Right now,
Right.
you don't have faith in the internet as a medium to listen to your will, right? You don't have faith that once you say you want it to be done, it can be done. And that's what we're fixing. We're
But you
delivering
can
that
do
kind
that
of
right now.
confidence.
So if I did this, if I put my voice out there in 11 Labs and it got out there, could you scan for my voice and go, hey, it's being used here, 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 and here.
Yes,
And it's like, okay, these five places are okay, but this one, no. You can do that.
absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely.
Okay, I'm
We
signing
need a
up.
little bit of speaking. We need some speaking voice, and
Sounds great. I love it.
but yep, that's it.
Awesome. So this has been great. Really fascinating stuff. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
I have a pretty unique name. Just hit me up on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
You could, Luke at LotiAI.com is another great way to reach me.
Very cool. Well, I'll put all the links in the show notes so people can go direct. Thank you so
Perfect.
much. This has been great.
Thanks.
Lots of
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely. It's great being
Talk
here,
to you later.
Chris. Bye.
Bye.
Pixels and philosophies merge and mold, a future untold, unseen.